Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your nice but nasty services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Yeah, I'm looking a bit sunburnt. Ooh, me and Mrs. Kilt-Man. Yes, me and Mrs. Kilt-Man have been out in the sun drinking booze. Oh aye. And the sun has been blasting down like it has been for weeks on end. And yeah, it's been great. So I'm rapidly becoming a lobster man in a kilt. Kilted lobster man. Make headlines soon. Who knows? But anyway, I want to take your mind back to an era when we had uber right-wing conservative censorship. You couldn't say boo to a goose. The state was telling you what you could and what you couldn't watch. And has anything changed? In fact, if anything, in this day and age, right now in the UK, we're in a far worse predicament. Oh, no, don't turn off. We're not talking about politics, but it does come into it. Now we have loads of new laws coming in, which are curtailing your freedom of speech massively. Emperor's new clothes. They bring in like a bill to protect children from things online, naughty things and images and videos online. But read the fine print in a 200-page document. Read 400-page document. Read the fine print. It curtails everything that you can possibly do on social media. The point being, he says, pointing two fingers, it's a two-finger point, it's very important, very pointedly important, is that we did something back in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, and where we stopped people's ability to watch and view things. Grown adults couldn't watch things. You had a body of people that would say to you, no, we've watched it and we deem you can't watch it. We've seen it and we think it's horrible, it's nasty, and you shouldn't watch it. You did. And did you go out and commit murders? Did you go out and did it corrupt you? Did it? There's a big argument there that maybe it did. Of course it didn't. There's no correlation between watching violent material and enacting it on the streets. It doesn't happen. If you're going to be nasty and horrible and violent, you already are going to be horrible and nasty and violent. You don't need, your trigger could be seeing a fork. It could be seeing the colour red. It could be seeing a girl in a red bikini. The BBFC, the British Board of Film Classification, prior to this era we're going to talk about, the British Board of Film Censorship, that's what they were, the British Board of Film Censors. And a huge trigger thing they thought was like seeing blood on breasts. Hammer horror movies had so much grief with this over the decades that it became legendary. But that it was a stayed in the wool sort of thing. So the censorship board changed their name, classification, and we're just giving guidance to movies. And of course the 80s happened. The 80s and home video, which I've discussed. I have an array of home videos there. Betamax and VHS are all arrayed there. I had literally thousands. I'm the guy that bought out not one but two, and a lot of a third video libraries. When video libraries were just dying in the later 80s, I was buying up all their stock, and I had literally thousands and thousands of video cassettes. And I didn't keep them all, obviously, but I wish I had. Some of them are massively, really culturally important, but also they're valuable to collectors, don't you know? and I've got a lot of them. And the video nasty purge of the early 80s was a huge thing. I would have been, well, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 during that purge. I think I've got some wee notes here. So, important thing is, the Obscene Publications Act was in 1977. It was amended in 1977 to take in like TV broadcasts, movies, and not just artistry and books and things, but taking like things you could visually see. And obviously the fledgling video market, home video, cassettes. So, 77. In 1983, the director of public prosecutions and Scotland Yard formed a list of 52 titles to be banned outright. Banned. I'm going to talk about this in depth. To be banned outright. That list grew to 74. It's important to remember that a lot of these were prosecuted, and a lot of them they won the case and they were banned outright. But many more. Have I got it there? 33 out of that list, the big full list of 74. 33 were not prosecuted. Normally I know this, but I've been out with the missus all afternoon, so we've had a few drinks. So the facts and figures, I've got to refer to it. Lucky I wrote it down. But 33 were not prosecuted. That does not mean they came off the banned list. It doesn't mean that at all. It means that they had to be resubmitted again, because after this big video purge, the video nasty Furore in the early 80s, the year after, 83 was the major year of the video nasties. 84, they brought in the Video Recordings Act. So they had to submit videos, films that may have been round the cinemas and trod the boards, and then it's got to be shown to the BBFC again, who have already certified a movie for theatrical release, and then show it for home video, because uncut versions could be out there. So the Video Recordings Act came in 1984, yeah, adhering to the Obscene Publications Act of 77, and the big video purge, instigated by conservative governments, conservative leaders, Mary Whitehouse, puritanical bitch, burn them first, and then, you know, we'll find out if they were genuinely true or not. Burn them first. And she meant to burn video cassettes, purge everyone. And the notorious James Anderton, the chief constable, you heard me right, chief constable of Greater Manchester Police, who was an overzealous fucking Christian, bloody Bible thumping, absolute wrath and thunder, Bible thumper twat, who went against all of this. Before we go any further, James Anderton had a lot of shit against him as well. He also used snatch squads in the way that it was done in Northern Ireland. He thought, we can take out street crime and drugs. And you know, by the way, I'm not averse to the tactics he used to take out people like that, but his overzealous nature really overstepped the mark, and he literally was Torquemada. You know, he was Witchfinder General. He was a nasty piece of shit, and he instigated a hell of a lot about the video nasty purge. So, why am I talking about this? Well, it's because of this. It's because of this, folks. This glorious coffee table tome, lovely and glossy and wonderful, by Ghoulish Publications, and it's also part of the Dark Side magazine, which I've covered many times. And this came courtesy, the ring light is like gonna go like, ooh, it's gonna highlight some gory bits. People in moments of extremists and people bedecked in gore. Look at that, look at that. Let's highlight some of this throat. Let's do all that. Oh, and the most famous, one of the most infamous scenes ever in a video nasty, zombie flesh eaters. Olga Carlotas gets dragged towards the biggest, sharpest splinter of wood you could possibly imagine by a zombified hand who smashed through her door, and then will drag her by the hair, shrieking and screaming. It's ridiculous. Just pull away. Why would a zombie do that? He just wants to eat your flesh. Why? I'm going to drag your head and your eye onto a spike. But it's one of the most gratuitously explicit, graphic, and most beautifully gory sequences ever committed to celluloid. It is outstanding. But this book by the Dark Side and Alan Brycey, my old mate Brycey. This came out in 1998 and it sold out. And due to public demand, it's been re-released again. And my copy now, and by the way, I had a copy to begin with, but we moved houses, and in the move, I never found my copy of this. So I never rebought it because it sold out anyway. But it's come out again due to public demand, gorehound demand, and Astradyne, your friend and mine, Astradyne, a traveller in time, sent me this. Astradyne sends me, as regular viewers will know, vinyl, t-shirts, figures, movies. He sends crates of stuff, packed with merch, boxes within, like Russian dolls. You open a box and there's tons of stuff. Another box with tons of stuff. Another box within that. There's tons of stuff. But he started to send me things without even warning me. And this turned up literally the other day. And I was like, well, I know it's off Astradyne. And wow. It is a reprint of what Alan Bryce and the Dark Side did. Dark Side magazine did in 1998. And it is basically just the exact reprint. And what it is, it's all the movies that were banned. Well, let's go into it a bit more detail. This is video nasties. The term video nasty was massively liberally applied to anything which, oh my god, it's gory, it's nasty, it's misogynistic, sexual violence. There's just it's just wrong. It's wrong. If you want to watch this sort of thing, there's something wrong with you. So the moral guardians of our society chose to well, we can watch it and then tell you that you can't watch it. The figurehead being Evil Dead, I Spit on Your Grave, Last House on the Left, many movies. Let's go through it again. 52 were identified initially by Scotland Yard. That grew to 74. I've got to keep it. I've been out drinking. 74 films. Got to bear in mind, these are films, a lot of them haven't had a theatrical release in the UK, but many of them actually had, and possibly received cuts as well. But then they came out onto unclassified, uncertified video cassettes, and so anyone could get them basically, and they had lurid covers. So the Furore came about because of the likes of The Evil Dead and Paris Pictures and Driller Killer. Now, I keep pointing around here because I've got a load of Betamax and VHS cassettes from the old days. I had every single one of these banned, and some were banned, some were prosecuted, some didn't get prosecuted, but didn't come out again. But we'll go into all that. We'll go through them. This book goes through all the movies, and I had every single one. I had, of the entire list, I probably had a good 90 to 95% as original cassettes. I'd hunted them down, found them, bought them, got them, purloined them, stolen them. I got them either way. And most were shit, obviously, and we all agree on that. Most of the films on the video nasty list are absolute shite. But some classics there. Where was I going to go with that? But I had a couple of copies where I'd certain ones you just couldn't find. There were certain ones you couldn't. No video library had them, and you scoured around. You went around every video library. You got stuff under the counter. You got stuff in the back room, and some would have. The porn, the hardcore stuff was in there. But you'd find Women Behind Bars. That's banned, but it's a lot of shit. It's complete shit. But I need it for my collection of banned movies on the video nasties. So you get them all, but some I'd have to copy. You can rent it, so and then it'd be gone the next day, literally because the police had come in and took it off the shelves. But lucky I made my copy. But I made sure I got every single sleeve for all of these movies, and as I said before, the vast majority was shit. Now, the Dark Side magazine is a celebration of horror in all its forms. Euro exploitation, American, Mexican, all around the world. Hammer, Amicus, all the classics, Universal, and it's great. I love the magazine. I've been following it since its inception, basically in the early 90s, and I love the magazine. And they brought out this video nasties. From absurd to zombie flesh eaters, a collector's guide to the most horrifying films ever banned. And what it does, it's not the definitive thing. Don't go thinking that. I'm gonna show you. Oh, Women Behind Bars. I've got to try and box clever with that ring light, but I do need it. So what it does, it lists every single movie that the Director of Public Prosecutions try to bring to book and prosecute. And what it does, on one page you've got the entire UK video sleeve that it had in the UK, and on the page behind it'll tell you a little tiny review from back in the day, really, and the cast list and director and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go through this, but I'm going to say there's introductions by Alan Bryce, but all of the introduction, forward introduction, and a whole overview of the video nasty Furore. All of these articles are written back in the 80s and then reprinted. That's how this book was released to Dark Side fans and then sold out. And all they've done now is reprint the entire book with all the video covers and all that. Like, brilliant. Don't get me wrong, that's superb. But they haven't changed anything in it at all. And I kind of think, up front, I'm going to say, I love this book, don't get me wrong. But I want to say that what they could have done is they haven't changed anything. So all the facts and figures about the movies are what they were way back when they were in 1998. All of these films, or the majority of these films, have come out again, mostly uncut with lower certificates as well. So what was an 18, an X is now like a 15 in the UK, and it's fully uncut. A lot of films have had animal cruelty has been taken out. Great, don't mind that. The whole thing about censorship, you should be able to watch what you want to watch as an adult. But things like, real life rape, murder, paedophilia, and animal cruelty, no, that should be gone. Am I wrong with that? But in a fictitious sort of a realm where you recreate these sort of things for the sake of drama, then you're an adult, you can make that choice. Someone else should make that choice for you. What gives them the right to tell you what you can and cannot watch? Well, nothing. And that's the world that we lived in back then, and now we're living in yet again. And the world we're living in right now is considerably worse. Oh, you may be able to watch these movies right now, fully uncut in most cases, but for how much longer? I mean, let's not go into all of that sort of. But this book, I really think they had a chance. I think there's a public demand to bring this book back out because no one else. We missed that. It was big at the time, and I've collected that, all the video nasties, and you've got all the covers, all different video labels, distribution labels, and companies, and like, oh, I want that. So Dark Side brought it out again, but there was a great chance to have given a lot more detail to what was already written. So like, well, this film was cut by X amount of minutes. It was resubmitted again. It's finally uncut. It's on this label now. It's on Blu-ray. It's on UHD. Some of them are, and it would have been great to have had a sort of catch up. This is where we are now. All they've done is just republish the original book, which is great. Don't get me wrong. It's a lovely piece of horror history, a great bit of merch, a great coffee table tome for when your jaded guests come round and it's just sitting there, you know. It's also a way of finding out, you know, are they really friends of yours? Are they into what you're into? Hey, don't make up your own jokes. You leave a copy of Video Nasties on the table and we're like, we're Mormons. No. Did I mishear you? Are you morons? Well, get out then, you know? Oh. Thank you. Big mug of tea. Cheers, y'all. But anyway, Astradyne sent this out the blue. I had no sort of knowledge of this arriving. What the hell is this? Another thing for Kilt-Man. Yay. And like, ooh. As I say, I had this, but in our move from Kirkdale to this house, the Kilt Mansion, this went missing. So, anyway, let's go through it. There's introductions aplenty. I will say right now, there are words missed out, and there's a few errors. You have a page with a review on it, a little snapshot review, which can be really funny and quite amusing. But you have all the cast list and the alternative titles to the movie, the director, who did the music, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, but there are a couple of occasions where all, you know, the cast list are not anything to do with that movie at all, and you're like, that's completely wrong. Now that clearly was what happened in the first printing way back in 1998. Would you not have thought they would have looked at that and like, oh God, we've got to get this sorted out? It's still the same mistakes, and there's words missed out a lot in what you read. Don't get me wrong, it's not like it's not a deal breaker. It's well worth. It's a great collector's piece, and I love it beyond belief. But they've reprinted it. Republish it, I should say, and there was a chance there to get these things right and to perhaps add more, because this is a snapshot of a time in the right. 1998 is first published. This volume, Goodish Publishing, 2025. Right, this one I'm holding right now. A hell of a lot's happened between now, when all of this stuff was collated, collected, and written. Loads happened. As a snapshot, that's great. However, you have, well, there's another mistake. Right, you have there's a list there. Scotland Yard's official list of video nasties, and right, they list a load there, as you can see. Well, that's not the original list of video nasties, it's far short. So there's a slight mistake there. An introduction from Alan Bryce, the great Brycey, but it's back in the day, so that's outdated now. It's worth historical sort of retrospective viewing. That makes sense. The Furore. Don't forget, at the time you wrote this, he's looking back barely, 10 to 15 years after the, well, not even that, 12 years after the video nasty Furore. He's looking back on it, but he's written it from a time when only certain movies were coming back out again, and censorship was still rife. So that took its relevance. Don't get me wrong. And then you get like a Video Nasties, the censorship scandal, which is another huge sort of editorial piece, all relevant again to the time when this book was first published. So you get all that, an overview. Then you get the dark side of the boom, as in, you know, the camera boom. The nasties, the adult movies you can't see. So again, it's written, this was published in Video World in 1985. So all of these critiques and essays are massively relevant in their timescale. Some from the 80s, dealing with the whole thing, and some from the 90s, dealing with the aftermath and like how, looking back on all this, but have we changed too much or not at all? And then you get, yes, Nice and Nasty, yet another, this was 1992, another big essay written about the whole thing, which makes sense. And then you get Return of the Nasties, which you would have thought like would be sort of, you know, all these films are coming out now again. Not all of them, but the vast majority uncut, unless it's animal cruelty, or they're not being resubmitted, but they're out again now, and you can get them. They're widely available, and that again, this is from 1994. That essay there, and you don't get anything sort of to revamp the whole thing. And like an overview from the 2020s, we're 2025 now. You don't get any sort of hindsight retrospective on all of this debacle, which could come round again. And given the current climate of massively closing down freedom of speech, movies and TV shows may well be in the crosshairs of a certain government. Right, anyway, let's go into the movies. I'll say again, every single one of these I had. The vast majority were on original cassettes. Most of them Betamax. But a lot I found them on VHS. And the ones I couldn't find, I couldn't buy. I couldn't actually buy one, or or nick it, which I did do a couple of times. Like, oops, Video Nasties breed criminality. Well, they did, obviously. Didn't kill anyone though, at least none of the videos. But I would copy a couple. If I couldn't keep it or buy it, or steal it, then I'd just do a video to video copy. I love doing that. I was a king of video copying, and so a few of them were like that. Bear in mind again, the vast majority of these movies are utter shit. And the reason why they were banned or picked up and seized upon by the PC Plod was because they had lurid covers, the artwork, and they were pre-certified. They did not have a BBFC certificate on them because at the time video didn't need it. And then of course this, oh my God, the moral outrage. Mary Whitehouse and various conservative ministers were giving it loads. It's corrupting our youth. I'm like, oh my God, they're going out and they're committing horrible crimes. I've got stuff to talk about, but let's go through these. Absurd. Luigi Montefiore, 8 feet tall of him. Anthropophagus, he was in as well. He's in The New Barbarians. He's a big bastard. And he plays this fucking psycho who escaped from a psycho ward and like gets himself speared on like a fence. His guts come out, he dies, but this radical, rebellious medico pumps this serum into him, which it repairs damaged flesh, and of course it brings him back to life and makes him into this almost invincible, absolute madcap, zany, fucking horrendously nasty twat, putting people's heads through buzzsaws, burning people alive in ovens, he's popping eyeballs. It is really nasty. What year that come out? 81. 81 is the prevalent time for the films that appeared on this list. Absurd is great. Absurd is out now. It was known as Anthropophagus 2 because, and that's the next one on the list. I'll show you all the Anthropophagus. In the UK, known as Anthropophagus the Beast. Anthropophagus meaning cannibalistic. And I've reviewed a lot of these films. I have reviewed, or not reviewed, but at least I've talked about in other videos extensively. And again, Luigi Montefiore is Anthropophagus Beast. And this film came out first. I think it came out first. 80, and the one was so to cash in on the outlandish gruesome glory of this cannibalistic twat on a Greek island who takes an unborn fetus, obviously it's unborn, it's a fetus, but he drags around a pregnant woman and eats it in front of her and all that. Like, he does a lot of horrible nasty things, and it's a genuinely frightening, nasty movie. Very mean-spirited. He gets a pickaxe in his own guts at the end, and then after having eaten everybody else, he then eats his own entrails and then dies. But it's, spoiler alert, but it's one of the big video nasties. And when he got it as a kid, Absurd and Anthropophagus, or Anthropophagus 2, to cash in on the fame and gory glory of this movie, and with the same actor playing an evil fucking twat doing horrible things to people. They were great celebrated nasties, and they are right at the start of it alphabetically. They're really up there in the whole zeitgeist, the video nasty hierarchy. Axe. See, again, you've got the lovely video covers. Oh, again, yeah. But you've got... I can't turn that off because you won't see a damn thing. Axe. Crap. I won't even bother going into it. It's absolute crap. And the next one's crap as well. The Beast in Heat. Oh, I should say that when you turn the page over, so on one page you've got the full video cover, which you can like obviously snip out and put into your big box VHS or Betamax. Big black box down the little perspex sleeve. You can put it in there. It fits perfectly. Which is a great, absolutely fucking brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. But it will destroy your book if you do that. So, but it kind of works. You've still got on the back of it all the details of that particular movie, the cast list, if it's correct, that is, and a little snapshot review, which I should tell you who wrote the reviews. And you know what? I didn't write it down in my notes, and I wish I had. I don't know. The writing's very small and the light's very strong, and I'm very drunk, so I don't think I'm going to see it. But anyway, Beast in Heat, load of shit. Falls into the category of women in prison, and banned because not because of women in prison movies. There was a plethora of them in the 80s, 70s and 80s. And this one came out in, I think, I'll tell you exactly, 77. It's because of the Nazi Holocaust stuff. So, although Schindler's List could be shown because it's telling things as things happened and things really were. But there's loads and loads of banned movies. Love Camp 7, Gestapo's Last Orgy, loads of other ones which are just women behind bars being tortured, brutalized, misogynistically, not having a good time. But it's under the banner of Nazi war crimes and humiliation, torture, and genocide. So obviously, the BBFC, British Board of Film Censorship at the time, became British Board of Film Classification. They were like, "What? We can't show that." And I was going to say I kind of get that, but I kind of don't get it as well, because it's a film, and you're meant to. It's not going to make. It won't turn you into a Nazi. It'll make you denounce Nazis all the more. Nazism, So again, the heavy-handed, fucking fist in hoof of these puritanical idiots. No, you can't watch that. The vast majority of these SS Nazi death camp movies on the ban list, the video nasty list, oh shit. It's just soft core stuff. Lots of boobies and there's no real horror to them. They're rubbish. It's the theme which got them in trouble. But there you go. The Beyond. Lucio Fulci, the little gnome of gore. Little Lucio. I've covered all of his movies in depth on the channel, way back. I need to revisit all of them on the channel because I love his movies. I love them. They're dizzy, gory, fucking daffy as the quacking duck in New York Ripper. But my God, I love his movies. The Beyond, yeah, that got seized big time. Pipe cleaner spiders, spikes through eyeballs, the Warlock at the start in a sepia tinted prologue, a Louisiana hotel. He puts a curse, the Book of Enoch. Is it the book? Oh, that's his Living Dead. Can't quite remember now. The Book of I-Bomb, I think, is the one in the Beyond. There's books. It's all Lovecraftian, but he brings back the dead and opens the gates of hell. It was known as the 7 gates of hell in various other territories, but the Beyond to us. And a girl's head gets blown apart. There's an acid bath melting the head. Pipe cleaner spiders rip a guy's tongue apart, pull his eyeball out. A guide dog tears the throat out of his, the one he's meant to be protecting and guiding. It's fantastic. And David Warbeck and Katrina McCall end up in hell at the end of the movie. Literally, a painting you've seen, which is superbly abstract and bizarre, they reenact it. A hellish landscape full of desiccated corpses, and they end up there and their eyeballs are scorched white. It's fantastic. It's exceptionally gory, and it appeared on the DPP list to be, you can't watch that. You've got to remember that list changed all the time. Films would go on to it, and then and then they come off it again. They get banned. The blanket term, they were banned. Simple as that. But then they go back again, and they've not been prosecuted under the Obscenity Act, but submitted again. But no distributor was brave enough to do it because, well, no, you're kidding me. Palace Pictures and various directors got hauled before the courts and accused of making snuff movies for real. You killed the actors. But in certain cases, you killed animals, and they did. Well, sure, we'll come on to that. Mario Bava's Bloodbath, which is the film which started the stalker slash genre by far. The 10 Little Indians, Agatha Christie. It wasn't 10 Little Indians. It was called 10 Little something else. Censored myself there. Hate doing that. But you kind of got to, haven't you? Yes. But anyway, so death by spike through two lovemakers, being shot to the head, multiple stabbings, a fight, whittled down, cast by cast member gets killed in glorious, gory set pieces. Mario Barber, a great lighting technician, cameraman, photographer, and a great director. Very surreal, very heightened in many places, and wonderful filmmaker. And this film, Bay of Blood, is absolutely, or Bloodbath, it's called Bay of Blood elsewhere, but Bloodbath. There's even a fucking octopus in there as well, which fucking strangulates somebody. It's an amazing movie. Friday the 13th ripped it off big time. With some of the killings as well. Massively ripped it off. And they acknowledge it as well. But it is gory, and it's one of the better ones to find, you know, on the list. Blood Feast. Blood Feast. Herschel Gordon Lewis, who did a load of trashy 60s, early 70s, gory extravaganzas, 2000 Maniacs, and a load of fucking crap. And Blood Feast is crap. Brings in like fucking old Aztec bullshittery. It's gory as hell, but it's rubbish. It's cheap and nasty. You can't be offended by it in the least. It's so slipshod and amateurish. It's god awful. H.G. Lewis never made a good movie in his life. They're all notorious, but they're shit as well. So fuck that. Blood Rights, you can fuck that up as well. Load of old shite that is. Blood Rights. Bloody Moon, yeah. There's some really piss poor effects in that. But it has a buzzsaw, you know, and someone's head getting driven onto it, like, so that sort of thing. Given the climate that things were happening in, you can't use power tools, chainsaws, power drills, hammers, nail guns, spiked baseball bats. All of that is in here. Bloody Moon, yeah, bloody awful, if you ask me. Oh no, and even worse is the burger. Uli Lamel, the bogeyman. Don't, oh yeah, I'll look at it again. Don't get me wrong, there's a massive fan base for Uli Lamel's Bogeyman and Bogeyman 2, or Bogeyman's Revenge. We'll come on to that. It's banned, it was banned as well. It's a video nasty. Absolute shit. The shards in the mirror and the thing in the, fuck off. I absolutely hated it. Really boring and gory. You kidding me? There's nothing in it. Nothing. Bloody awful. The Burning. I've reviewed The Burning. Tony Maylam did it. Who went on to do oh god, what did he do? The Rutger Hauer thing with Split Second, which was, oh I know, Split Second's got a lot of fans. Kim Cattrall's in there as well. But it's fucking awful. What is it? It's a Blade Runner monster fucking neo-noir steampunk thing in a just show us something. A fat Rutger Hauer, you know, smoking and eating dipping cold pizza in his coffee or whatever the hell he does, like. And yeah, I know you guys love it. I'm sure you do. I want to love it, but I can't because it's crap. It's crap. Face up to the facts. There's no action you can see properly. Oh, you got oh, what's his name? Not Roger Daltrey. Oh no, he had rickets. I forgot his name. Doesn't matter. Rockstar, punk rockstar, and I forgot his name. But he's in it, and that's great to see that. But the action, the set pieces are really naff. So what? Kilt-Man. That film is not part of the book, is it? No, it isn't. But The Burning is, and The Burning is great. It is purely Friday the 13th, summer camp, and Cropsey the maniac. He was a camp counselor that got burned by literally, not just, you know, roasted, as in like taking a piss out of him, a big prank. The prank goes wrong and he gets burnt alive, but he survives. And he comes back disfigured and then goes after it all. Well, anyone who's in that camp again. And the raft sequence is infamous. I've reviewed this, I've covered it before, but the finger snipping, Thorny in my video put out a version which was meant to be cut down. Remember, the cinema version was cut down and snipped out the finger snipping, but on video they had the cinema cut, and then the distributor put out the uncut version by mistake, and by mistakey, but people got wind of it. So certain video libraries knew they had it, and they put their own little label on it, their own little sticker, their own price stickers saying uncut fingers, and you're like, wow, what happened now? So I had that, of course. Tom Savini's effect. Tom Savini, George Romero, gore extraordinaire. And of course, the distributors got fucking done because they put out a version which was illegal. It didn't happen. A lot of these films went for prosecution, and a lot of them did get successfully prosecuted, but a hell of a lot didn't. You know, they went before the courts and like, they were like, oh no, they were deemed, no, they're okay. But because they were tarnished, distributors were like, and video retail or rental emporiums were like, we're not going near that again. It's just trouble. Because the cop's going to come in again and just take it again. Such was the random approach of the puritanical purge squads that went out. Having witnessed the purge squads myself, but we'll come on to that because there's one film in particular which I want to talk about. But The Burning is a great movie. It's a great Stalker-class movie. The effects are wonderful. It's a powerful. It's genuinely scary as well. John Saxon in Cannibal Apocalypse. We are now entering the cannibal realm, folks. And what a shit realm that is, mostly. The Cannibal Apocalypse, John Saxon and oh god, John Morgan. Oh, what's his real name? Oh god. He's in so many Italian horror movies. I forgot his name. Anyway, they're in Vietnam and John Saxon rescues some POWs in a cannibalistic slant on First Blood. Rescues some, First Blood Part 2. Rescues some of these, but gets bitten as well. And they go back to New York, and like the zombie plague, once you get bitten by a cannibal, you become cannibal. And they go on a rampage. And it's the great John Saxon, who loved being in genre movies, gratuitous, nasty movies, and Nightmare on Elm Street, Enter the Dragon. You know, he's fucking in these films, and he's a brilliant actor. I love him to bits, and God rest his soul. But yeah, it is gory. You get John Morgan, Giovanni Ribisi. I got it. I fucking got it. Giovanni Ribisi gets his guts blown out in a sewer, and you see his guts go fucking showering through. He can't get through the grate, and it's like and the camera sort of zooms through the gaping hole in his guts, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Lots of chomping, and it is gory, but it's an action film as well. It's a Vietnam allegory, but great. In the context of banning movies for gory, violent scenes, yeah, I can get it. And this one, Cannibal Ferox. I know what I said about cannibal movies, there's a load of these. Cannibal Ferox, Umberto Lenzi. Oh, sweet Jesus. John Morgan again, Giovanni Ribisi is in this. And again, you get like, it's an oft-told tale of Westerners with cameras going into like New Guinea and or whatever, the Amazon jungles, and encountering sort of prehistoric tribes of cannibals, and then witness their deeds, and then commit stuff themselves, and then get fucking done in really badly. This is the one, Cannibal Ferox. poor girl gets, and the effects are brilliant. You know, don't forget, all of these films have prosthetic practical effects. Some are naff, some are great. This was great. Big hooks go through her nude breasts. Underneath, you know, the sweaty bit, and then right out through the top, and then she gets hoisted up, and you're like, and blood spitting everywhere. The John Morgan, Giovanni Ribisi, gets his cock and bollocks chopped off. He gets put under a table with a hole in it, and they slice the top of it. His head just sticks through, and like you know, a boiled egg, they slice it off and start scooping his brains out. There is much more depravity, and it's great. It's great. How does that make me sound? Anyway, it's I'm getting hungry now, and we are talking, you know, Chinese, not Filipino, but Chinese. But Cannibal Ferox is actually very worthy of being banned, and it made you want it all the more. That's the whole thing about these movies. You put them on a list, it was like, well, shining a spotlight. Most of these films are shit, but because you've told us they're banned, oh, they're video nasties, we've got to get them. So they just drove them underground and made them all the more popular. These films would never have got the market at all. And there's the biggie. That's the main one. Cannibal Holocaust. Ruggiero Deodato. Oh my God. Now, there's a cup of tea down here. I'm just going to have a swig of that. Before it goes cold on me. Cheers, y'all. And there's Quint, you know. And I'm playing the Evil Dead score for the first Evil Dead. The Video Nasty Supremo, as we'll come on to. Joe LaDuca's score. He did all 3 Evil Dead movies. I know, wonderful scores. Anyway, this one, Cannibal Holocaust, which was a film crew, a student film crew, goes out to like South America, not South Africa, Amazon, and encounter a lost tribe. They've gone missing, but they find the video cassettes detailing what they did, and they watch the tribe committing horrible atrocities, eating people and killing things, living animals, and they get involved in it and film themselves doing it. They also get involved in the genocidal firebombing of a village, and they love it. And the whole thing is like, then the tribe turns on them, and there's dick savaging, and there's impalings on spikes up someone's derriere, coming out of someone's yeah, and not good. But it's actually, I hate, as anyone who knows me, I despise found footage movies. I think that it's the most cack-handed, boring sort of premise ever. If something is coming at you, be it a madman, an alien, a spaceship, a monster, you know, a Gohira, you know, a kaiju, and you're filming it. In today's world, we film everything, but I'm afraid if my life's in jeopardy, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw the camera at the thing coming at me, and I'm gonna turn tail and run. There won't be any more footage of like, oh, my feet pounding around and like getting behind closed doors. Fuck off. I hate found footage. I know many of you love it, but that's up to you. That's up to you. You won't find me reviewing any found footage movies. I think they're deplorably shite and naff and fundamentally flawed. Having said that, this motherfucker actually works because it's the first one of its kind. So they find the footage, they go on hunt, what happened to them, and they find the footage, and you've got all these bigwigs working out like, oh, and there's a lot of heightened messages about we shouldn't meddle with a primitive world, you know, modern man encroaching on primitive lifestyles is not a good thing. We don't belong there, we shouldn't belong there. And it's kind of like, who's the real savages sort of thing, because our Western fucking twats cause most of the nastiness. They bring about their own horrible demise. What's his name? Eli Roth did it. Green Hell. Fucking bullshit. His film was absolute crap. Eli Roth, I cannot stand him at all. But this is that's a great movie. It's about the only found footage movie which I will give credit to. And that includes Wreck as well. But what gets it really badly named is the amount of animal cruelty. I cannot and I will not stand by any of that. You can do whatever you want to human beings, with prosthetics or CG. It's all fake, but do not kill animals just for the sake of it. Now, he got done. Rogero Deodato got arrested and was accused of killing his cast and crew because they thought it was a big uproar. This is no shit. They thought he killed people live on camera. Of course he didn't, and the cast had to suddenly appear. No, we're still here, we're alive. Here we are. However, the animals couldn't reappear and say, "Oh, we're okay. It's all fake." And he has now said, like many directors of these cannibal movies have said, like, we wish we hadn't done that. That was not we didn't want to do it, but it was sensationalizing and glorifying, what the distributors wanted. They always blame distributors. You've got to put more of this in it because there was earlier. These films were the late 70s, early 80s, but there were earlier cannibal movies which set the precedent. If you're going to do this in primal jungles, you've got to show animals getting butchered. So against some directors' better judgment, it happened. Anyway, Cannibal Man. I'm not going to talk about it. Shite. Absolute shite. Who cares? Cannibal Terror. Shite. Absolute shite. Who cares? See, these are like cash-ins, and some of them are a bit earlier, but they're rubbish. They're just adventure films, but the whole cannibal theme had come in, but they're still rubbish. Contamination, or Alien Terror, I think it may have been called as well at one stage, and it's a pure naff cash-in on Alien. Why? Because John Hurt has a chest burster. Ooh, something comes out of his guts and blood goes everywhere. And the Italians thought, we can work on that. Let's have a movie about people's guts exploding. So they do. And it's kind of like visually looks like The Crazies by George Romero. Agent Trixie goes in and they're all in like the chemical warfare suits, but the people, the townspeople have gone crazy. So blood on white looks amazing. So you get tons of these specialists and scientists who encounter these alien eggs. Yes, alien eggs. Like Alien. The eggs are there, and when they burst and the spores hit them, they go, oh, with outsized stomachs in these big hazmat suits, and then big massive barrel loads of squibs go in slow motion, and giblets and stuff flies everywhere, and it's gory as hell. Ian McCulloch, a great British actor who was in the Scottish TV show Take the High Road, who was also in Dr. Butcher MD, Cannibal Holocaust, or Zombie Holocaust I should say, and Zombie Flesh. He does a Zombie too, to some of you. He's in this as well, and I've interviewed him, and he didn't have a good word to say about this movie at all. Although he did enjoy his time working in Euro horror, he did. Anyway, here's a film that does not belong on any nasty list at all. Dead and Buried. I've reviewed it massively, extensively. Big feature-length review for that movie. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant movie. Flawed plot-wise, but Potter's Bluff, a Californian coastal town. You've got what's his name? Oh, I've got his bloody guy's name. James Farentino, who I love. He plays like the Brody, the sheriff of that town. Tourists are coming in and getting butchered. They're getting burned alive, stabbed through, mutilated. What's happening? But they seem to reappear in the streets, and he seems to know them. What's happening? Is somebody bringing them back to life? What is witchcraft? Is the voodoo? You ask your wife. Ask your wife. There is gore in there. Stan Winston did the gore effects for it, the practical effects, and they're great. And there is some nasty stuff in there, but it's the violence and the overriding. A family gets put in severe jeopardy by axe and claw and fish hook wielding bastards, and it's. I mentioned Blood Feast before. Herschel Gordon Lewis. There's an element of the gleeful nature of local townsfolk taking out people that stray into their path, and oh my god, it's horrible. It's genuinely horrible, but it's a great film. Anyway, I reviewed it, so look at that my review of Dead and Buried. Death Trap, aka Eaten Alive. There's a guy you don't run into. Fucking nut job. He's got alligators, in his back garden, and he brings people in and he feeds them to his alligators. It's Toby Hooper, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You've got Robert Englund in there. My name's Chuck and I'm raring to fuck, and it's a redneck horror movie. There's a bit of gore to it. It's not massively graphic, but it's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable bit of hokum. And again, if you like sort of backwoods redneck horror, that's right up your street. Did it meet requirements of being banned? Well, possibly. A bit of gore there, a bit of misogyny there, a little bit, but actually no, it doesn't. None of them really fucking do, to be honest with you. Deep River Savages. I think is that your first one? I think that's your first cannibal movie. 1972. Yeah, I think it is. It's shit, by the way. It's shit. What an absolute fucking bore fest of a movie that is. A bit like a man like horse. Sorry, a man like horse. A man called horse, Richard Harris, and the Sundance ritual getting pierced and hung up, which Cannibal Ferox did in a different way, of course, through the titties and exceptionally gory. But he becomes one of the tribe. Anyway, I'm not going to labour the point. It's shit. Likewise with this one, another. I think it's another Vietnam sort of thing. Delirium. Crap. Just crap. Oh, Devil Hunter. There's another cannibal one, but not really. It's like an adventure film. Al Cliver, who was in Lucio Fulci's The Black Cat. Is he in the Beyond? I think he's in the Beyond. He's in the Beyond. He definitely is. And he's in Zombie Flesh Eaters. And it's crap. Who fucking cares? It's just, you're going to use cannibals, and it became like a thing. That film came out in, again, 1980. So you'd have, Deep River Savages, and by the way, all these films had different titles in different territories. American titles were often a lot different than the ones that we got. This book chronicles the ones with their British titles because it's got their British video covers. And here we go. Don't Go in the House. This is quite nasty, actually, this one. This guy gets abused as a kid. He gets burnt by his mother, if I remember rightly. Don't get me wrong, it's shit. But it does have some... he later, I think he cremates his mother, roasts her, and keeps her cooked, like Norman Bates. He keeps her roasted bits alive. And but he goes out and cruising nightclubs, discos, and funkadelic, emporiums, and brings back women, puts them in his basement, and then flambés them with a blowtorch, and but it is quite nasty. But I remember watching it and I'm thinking this is it's nasty, but it's also boring as hell, and the effects are reasonably good. But that film came out now, it'd get a 15 certificate. I'm pretty sad about that. Another thing about this book, I wish, I said before, that they were giving, they gave an update on what these films, how they stand now in the UK, what certificate they've got, have they been re-released, have they got minutes cut out. I mean, I know in a lot of cases what has happened, but we'd be here all night. I'm not going to do that. Don't Go in the Woods. What a load of shite that is. That's like, I think it was called Toxic Zombies or something like that. Oh god, whatever. I can't be arsed. But it's just rubbish. Don't go near the park. Don't go near the park. Yeah. Don't go in the basement. That is pretty nasty. That don't go in the basement. That's a fucking. If I remember rightly. Yeah, I'll have to like. That's from 1973. No, I don't think it's what I'm thinking of. I may have confused one of the don't goes. One of them's really nasty. I don't think it's this one. Gore scenes include the director of the asylum having his bonds removed with an axe and the receptionist getting her tongue ripped out. The funniest sequence has a couple of frisky old ladies stabbing some telephone repairman to death for rejecting their sexual advances. Quite well done of its kind. I don't know. Well, clearly I don't fucking remember it at all. And there's one. Why was it banned? Quite clearly, look at that. That was its cover. That's why it was banned. That's why it was took off shelves. Abel Furore, absolute shit. It's a shit film. And that's the goriest moment. And it's quite clearly, it's when you watch that sequence, yeah, it's a fake drill. It's pumping fake blood out the end of it. And the guy's going, It's crap, but what an incredible, visceral, graphic image that is. Not good. It's a crap movie. I don't care. Abel Furore is a great filmmaker. He is. He's very singular of vision. He's very out there, very anti-authoritarian. He's got things to say. The blood runs in rivers and the drill keeps tearing through flesh and bone. Coppers come into video libraries and just saw that like, fuck that. That's coming off straight away. We'll come on to all this, and I'm just going through all this. But Driller Killer is nowhere near as nasty or as gory as people make out. It just simply isn't. The greatest movie on the list, The Evil Dead, The Figurehead. One of my, look at that cover there. I've got the original cover. I had this originally. Evil Dead, Sam Raimi, 82. The version that played cinemas, it took years to make the movie. I've reviewed it, I've covered it a lot. It was censored in the UK theatrical print by a lot. When it come out on Paris Video did it, and it was the same theatrical version that come out, it became the figurehead of Video Nasties because it's so relentlessly OTT gory. It's vicious dismemberment, disembowelings, and face meltings, and eye gougings, and tree rape, all sorts of stuff. It's relentless and it's wonderful. You cannot take it seriously. I love it to bits. Banned, not prosecuted, but the most famous one of them all. ITV, ITN, BBC, everyone used this and used. Remember in Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven and Sam Raimi had this thing about in Hills of Eyes, Wes Craven had the Jaws poster in the caravan, and the cannibals get in there, and the poster's ripped in half, and it's Wes Craven saying look, you thought Jaws was horror. No, that's nothing compared to what I'm going to show you. And he's quite right in many ways. So Sam Raimi went, aha, fuck you. So in the basement of the cabin in the woods, they go down the basement and there's a Hills of Eyes poster, completely abstract. It's just, why would it be there? It shouldn't be there, but it's there and it's ripped in half. And it's Sam Raimi going aha, you thought Hills of Eyes was horror? No, look what I got to show you. So then in Nightmare, the tit for tat went on. Nightmare on Elm Street, you've got Johnny Depp watching horror movies, and you've got a montage of chainsaws and screaming, and Bruce Campbell going, right in and blood down his face, and it's oh my god, and he just goes, yawns, goes, and turns it off. And like, again, Raimi saying like, oh, you thought, I don't know, Toby Hooper going like, no, you thought, not Toby Hooper, fucking Wes Craven going like, no, you thought you had horror with let's get this right, fucking hell, where am I going? Wes Craven going like, you thought you had horror with Evil Dead, no, this is horror with Nightmare on Elm Street. Brilliant. The tip is that, and they were great friends, of course. Wes Craven's deceased now. And I've covered his films a lot, and got to say about him as well. I do think there was issues with Wes Craven. I do genuinely think there was issues. But that video cover, which I have in a frame in the front room, in the front parlour of Kilt Mansion, I have that video cover. The film was cut in the UK theatrically, and the same thing played in UK video, and then it became the cause celeb of the video nasty purge. So like the montage that Wes Craven showed in Nightmare on Elm Street, they would show that in the news items, and I was like, this is what's being, people are watching this now, chainsaws, screaming, blood, and like, oh my god, it was a great outfit for the movie. You had to have that movie. And I've discussed this a lot, but when I had that straight away, I had Evil Dead straight away, and loved it to bits. But I knew it was cut down. I was only a kid, but I knew it was cut down. And within about 2 years of, well, not even that, 18 months of getting the original UK Betamax version, I had the American NTSC version. And every single gore scene was extended. To us watching it, it was extended, but to people who watched it the first time around, that was just a normal Evil Dead. So she's getting slapped in the face once, twice. It's more times stamping, the shotgun butt against someone's fingers coming through a door. That's several times. It was once in the UK version. Scratching the leg, you only got a couple of scratches. In the full version, there's loads. Basically every single scene of gut, the tree rape scene, everything was extended. So that was one of the things to get. And I got that. I got my copy full uncut. I was like, So people from school were coming out at dinner times, like all my mates from school. Oh, you got the Evil Dead. I've not just got the Evil Dead. I've got the full uncut Evil Dead. Oh well, yeah, just the same. No, I've got the proper one. And yeah, made a lot of fake friends that way. But they met a chainsaw. But the saw is family, Anyway, Evil Dead. The biggest case was made against this and Palace Pictures, and it lost. The prosecution didn't work, but they still couldn't release the Evil Dead for a long time afterwards. This is what I'm saying. These films met with a huge sort of legal uproar, and yet, the prosecution didn't win. But the film still couldn't get released because distributors weren't going to touch it, the barge pole. The Obscenities Act was still in place, and if it's already come up for that, I'm not going to do it again. So they didn't. So all these films could have come out pretty much straight away afterwards, you'd have thought. But, squeaky bummed distributors were like, and video library retailers were like, oh, I'm not doing that. Like, no. Evil Speak, the Gorehounds version of War Games, fucking great. R.G. Armstrong, a horde of wild fucking pigs disemboweling people, a head explosion. It's early sort of computer sort of antics, but instead of like causing World War III with NORAD and all that, this guy gets in touch with the devil to take. It's a military academy. He's getting bullied. So it's Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother. Clint Howard is in so many movies again, and he looks a bit too old to be military academy students. But anyway, he wins the day by getting the program for the devil, and suddenly satanic pigs and all sorts of. He's got powers. It's a great movie actually. I really love this movie. I think have I reviewed it? I don't know if I have. I can't remember. Expose, fear in Richmond, porno stuff. It's a domestic. Is it a domestic sort of horror, violence, murder and setup sort of thing? It's not. It's not a good film. It's actually quite a well-made film, but it's what's it doing here? There's no reason for it to be on a list. Sex and violence, which of course the BBFC don't like that. Faces of Death. I'm not going to talk about that shit. It just, and there's several sequels to it as well, showing newsreels of beheadings and car crashes and train wrecks and plane crashes and executions, and a lot of stage stuff as well. If you're into it, it's crap. It's crap. Fight for Your Life. Home invasion movie, and not a particularly good one, to be honest. Who's in it? I can't remember who's in it. I'm sure there's someone famous in this, actually. No, wrong about that. I could make up a name, but I don't know, because you see, when you turn the page from did I show you that? I'm forgetting to show you the covers, aren't I? Fight for Your Life. Again, it's like killers end up in like a house where they do a home invasion and the people turn the tables on them and it's like whatever. 89 minutes of sheer terror. Don't you love that? 89 minutes of sheer terror. Not 2 hours and 30 minutes of fucking modern day tedium. Oh my god, just give me a short, sharp shock of a horror movie. I don't need backstories and character elements. Just enough to tell the story. No, I don't know. Andy Warhol and what's his name? Morrison. Oh god, Paul Morrissey. Flesh of Frankenstein in 3D, don't you know? In 3D, it's absolutely amazing. You've got guts hanging out on spikes right in your face. You've got entrails being pulled out and dripping in front of your face. You've got boobies in your face as well. And the gore-fest and sexiest Frankenstein ever filmed. And it is. And it's not bad. I forgot the guy's name now. What's his name? Joe D'Alessandro. Was a bit of a sex god at the time. It's not bad. Andy Warhol and Paul Morrissey also did Blood for Dracula, which was not bad at all. And that was Udo Kier again, who's in this. And that's an interesting movie. Interesting slants onto classic horror icons. But I can see why that was there. Because there's necrophilia, there's a lot going on in this movie. There is. Forest of Fear, yeah. Again, an American title was different. Let's see if I can find that. Oh, this was Toxic Zombies, Blood Eaters. It's crap. It's utter crap. There's doctored fucking weed and fucking marijuana, and the practitioners become flesh-eating zombies. Not brilliant. Frozen Scream, not going to waste any time on that. Absolute crap. Doesn't deserve to be banned in any way, shape or form. Complete crap. The Funhouse, I've reviewed that movie. Toby Hooper. It is. Oh, it's here. It's right here. Ta-da! Hardly gory at all. Not nasty. Great thriller, great horror movie, great premise, great Rick Baker effects, and a mask for the killer, the split-faced albino goat man thing. I love the movie to bits. I've done a video on it, feature length. The the real reason why people think this ended up on the DPP list is because another film, which I forgot the fucking name of now, would you believe it? Did I write that down? No, I didn't. It might be in here. It might actually be here. Yes, it is here. There's a horrible film which didn't end up on the DPP list, believe it or not, called Last House on Dead End Street, which is also titled in certain territories as The Funhouse. So people think that the Funhouse, Toby Hooper's Funhouse, was falsely maligned because of its association with the other movie. People mistook it for that. PC plot mistook it. Well, I don't know. Possibly. But as we'll come on to when I finish this in an overview, oh god, Gestapo's Last Orgy. I'm not going to waste any time. These Nazi women in prison movies are women in prison movies, and they're shit. They're not gory, they're not nasty, they're misogynistic, and they promote Nazism. They glorify it in ridiculously almost satirical ways, but obviously the UK government was not going to allow that, so that's why they ended up on the list. Lucio Fulci, again, House by the Cemetery, Katrina McCall, that little fucking, that horrible little bastard with the blonde hair, the blonde moppet, who's in many movies, Italian movies, always badly overdubbed. It's not his fault. He sounds awful and you hate him because of the overdubbing. The overdubbing's the worst thing. And he's called Bob in this. And Bob gets his head held against a door as Dr. Fraudstein's slamming an axe through it from the other side. And it's missing his head by millimeters. It's a great tense sequence. They buy a house by the cemetery. And but Dr. Fraudstein is still alive. He died, 100 years ago. But no, he's still there, a rotting cadaver, but he's killing people and using their organs to keep himself alive. It's fucking ludicrous, but it's also great. It's very, very gothic. It's exceptionally gory, really, really nasty stuff. Fire pokers through flesh and massive throat ripping, really bad throat ripping, decapitation, and there's fucking tons of stuff in there. It's great. I've reviewed that. I should say I've reviewed all of Fulci's his prime quartet of movies: Flesh Eaters, City of the Living Dead, which does not appear in the list, by the way. City of the Living Dead was never banned. It was took off shelves. It was never banned. It was never put forward for prosecution at all. But The Beyond, House by the Cemetery, so there's your four. New York Ripper wasn't. Well, we'll talk about that. Remind me to talk about that. House on the Edge of the Park. Crap again. David Hess appears in a lot of these fucking movies. And David Hess from Last House on the Left. But anyway. Human Experiments. Jeffrey Lewis is in that. One of Clint Eastwood's busy mates. Jeffrey Lewis in many of his movies. Kilt-Man Experiments. It's a competently made movie. It doesn't belong on the nasty list. It's just a bit of a sleazy fucking thriller. Oh, but I remember. I Miss You, Hugs and Kisses. This is like a sort of murder mystery. I think it's based on loosely based on a real life story. I think that's probably how they marketed it. And it's a murder, and like who's committing the murder, and like we've got to kill other people to cover up art. But it's just it's a thriller. It's crap. Dario Argento's Inferno. Not prosecuted at all. Inferno, the second in the Mothers trilogy. Suspiria, one of my favourite horror movies of all time, is the first. Inferno with Lee McCluskey and Irene Miracle from Midnight Express. Dives below in this. It's all about another hidden book which gives all the details of the three mothers. The mystical, magical, witchery three mothers, and Irene Miracle goes for a foolhardy dive in this old Edwardian room, sumptuously furnished, but it's sunken. So she dives below, loses a brooch, dives below to get it, and gets assailed by just rotting cadavers. Mario Bava, who Dario Argento was a progenitor of, I learned so much from Mario Bava. He brought Bava in to film that sequence, to light it, to film it, and to choreograph it. And in him, like, look, just you direct it. I can't do it better than you. You do it. And it's a wonderful sequence. But you do have some gory bits. There's a decapitation by window coming down on someone's throat. A guy getting his throat slashed. Eyeballs. We didn't see the eyeballs getting it up. You just see the aftermath. Eyeballs are hanging down this guy's face. But you've got this bizarre sequence in Central Park where a guy's drowning a bag of cats. And now being a cat person myself, after being a husky person for so long, now to be honest, I never liked these scenes because even Dario Nicolodi, who's married to Argento at the time, didn't like these scenes, and she gets killed by cats who are being thrown onto it and they're scratching her face. But and there is a sequence where I forget the guy's name, the bookkeeper slams a cat's head. He grabs a cat by its throat and he knocks its head against a sideboard or a desk. It's fucking real, that. I don't like that at all. And you get a cat eating a mouse live or in another sequence, I should say. So maybe they're the reasons why this film ended up. I don't know what it says in the sort of the synopsis. You've got to remember, these are very brief sort of write-ups, the review. They're quite funny. I should give them a bit more plaudit because they are entertaining to read, but they don't really give a lot, and they give no real background. But it's just literally that. It's just literally just that. That's your page, and it tries to cover a lot of ground in that. So got to give it, I forget who wrote them. I do apologise, but Inferno should never have been on this list. It's a very artsy-fartsy, stylistic and surrealistic horror movie, and I love it to bits. Keith Emerson's score is dynamite. It's no Suspiria, but it's a worthy follow-up to it. And then you get Clag Like That, Island of Death, shagging goats on a Greek island, pouring whitewash down someone's throat so they choke and die on it, pissing and burying an American woman, then using a digger to bury. That's fucking garbage. Blowing people's heads off, It's just, it's crap beyond belief. It's one of the most crass movies I've ever seen, and it's just really bollocks. So I won't say any more about it. I Spit on Your Grave, which was originally titled I Piss on Your Grave. Camille Keaton gets gang raped numerous times. She's a writer, goes out to the backwoods, gets gang raped, and then but they think she's dead, but she isn't dead. She comes back and they're using axe and outboard motor and knives and all sorts, gets her revenge on the redneck rapists. I don't like the film at all. Like Last House on the Left, I think it's a deplorable movie. I don't derive any entertainment from watching women being brutalised and raped. I don't at all. And this film goes softcore, and it's hard. It's softcore and it's hard. It's hard to watch. And the revenge. Everyone's like, oh, the revenge. Again, like the Evil Dead, this one was used. It's on the speedboat with the axe. And the bit in the bathtub and all that. They showed those bits, obviously without all the gory bits, and making out some kind of gore extravaganza, which it certainly isn't. But that's not the point. It doesn't have to be overtly graphic. It's the themology. It's what's happening. And this woman has just cut, chopped, broken, and burned 4 men beyond recognition, but no jury in America could ever convict her. It's a brilliant tagline. Of course, it was remade. I never watched the remake. I don't want to watch the original film again, so I'm not going to watch a remake. Killer Nun. Again, that fits into almost the Nazi stuff, but also the nuns, the whole nun horror subgenre. It's crap, by the way. Wes Craven and Sean Cunningham's Last House on the Left. David Hess and oh my god, no. I've discussed this movie before. I've seen it. I remember it. I'll never watch it again. I have not watched that film since I'd say about 1983, maybe 84. 84, showing it to people who demanded to watch it, and then I went, no one's ever going to watch this film again. I despise that movie. Ingmar Bergman's The Virgin Spring, it's a remake of that, but it's horrendously nasty. Again, it's a brutalisation and it's horribly well done, but Wes Craven certainly paved the way for Freddy Krueger with the dream sequence where the rat-faced, the rat-toothed bastard with his big fucking teddy boy haircut gets his big buck teeth smashed out in a dream sequence. There's circumcision in a swimming pool. There's a chainsaw murder because the killers end up in the parents' house of the two girls that were killed, that they murdered, and the parents find out and then enact revenge. And this whole thing about like, well, who's nastier? You know, oh, it's wrong to revert to their subhuman standards. Fuck that. If someone hurts you or your own, you fucking take them out. And you do it as nastily as you possibly can. If they've hurt you or your own, your daughter, your son, your wife, and you get your hands on them, oh, you take your time, if you can, before authorities catch up with you. You do them in and you fucking hurt them. You know, anyway, but that's my belief. But the thing about films like this is like, they promote that, but they say, oh no, the message is, how should you go that far? Yes, you should, and go further. Don't ride on late night trains, aka late night trains, or late trains, I think it's called. Yeah, another nasty one about poor women getting brutalised, and yeah, that sort of thing. I can understand it. I understand why it's banned, but again, you shouldn't ban films just because of its subject matter. Let people make up their own minds. My favourite, The Living Dead. It's here. There it is, the original copy. I have mine. The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue. Breakfast at the Manchester Morgue. The Living Dead. It's so many different titles for it. Shot in the Lake District and the Peak District. By Italian, Spanish, German, fucking Ukrainian. Everybody around Europe had a hand in making this movie. Christine Galbo, Ray Lovelock, Arthur Kennedy. I've reviewed this movie. It's one of my favourite zombie movies. It's one of the most genuinely terrifying zombie movies ever made. It is gory as fuck. Gianetto De Rossi's effects are outstanding. 1974, George Grau made this movie. The police hated it. James Anderton, the puritanical witch finder general, James Anderton, a cunt, chief constable, took massive umbrage with this movie in particular and sent his rozzers out to go and collect it. I was there. I was actually in exclusively beta on Poulton Road when the rozzers came in, and I just went like, oh, taking this, looking at lurid covers, taking that, taking this, taking that, oh, whatever. And then he found that. Oh, that was the one they were after. Oh, big tits on the edge. No, evil, you evil, ill, you evil. Fuck off, knobheads. Great film, fantastic film. I think it was prosecuted. I'm not sure. I think it was. It is gory as hell. But it was the right-wing depiction of the police going against hippies and like blaming them for the flesh-eating murders that had been committed around the countryside. And but Arthur Kennedy, a great actor. He's in Lawrence of Arabia. He's a fucking fabulous actor. He's in so many movies, war movies, and like he's just brilliant. But he really goes OTT and overzealous, and people thought, James Anderton, that's you. So he knew that. So he come down on that movie like a shitstorm from, biblical times. He was a massive zealot, overly Christian, overly fucking puritanical. This is a guy that used Northern Ireland style snatch squads to take out people that he didn't like, and he got done for it as well. So a cunt. But I love The Living Dead. It's fantastic. Love Camp 7. Suck mine. Load of shite. Again, women in prison. Madhouse. Not bad actually. Quite nasty. I'm going to have to speed along here, to be honest. But Madhouse was all right. There's a film with Vincent Price, Peter Cushing, called Madhouse, which got took off the shelves because of the same name. Like the Funhouse, same name. So got tarnished by the same brush. Not the same movie. Mardi Gras Massacre. A load of lauded bollocks. Gory, but crap at the same time. Nightmare Maker, Butcher Maker. Well, it's just called Nightmare Maker. That's the UK sort of label. Susan Tyrrell playing this hugely demonstrative mother who incestuously loves her son, and it's a great sort of family drama, dysfunctional family drama and thriller, until the last sort of third when it turns really super nasty and gory and violent, and it's actually really good. It's a proper good movie, But again, here we are. Scavellini's Nightmares in a Damaged Brain. Now, I would have had that here. I've still got my original copy of Nightmares in a Damaged Brain. But could I find it? No. Could I fuck? No. The spook will whistle away. Like so many other videos I wanted to have out here. Couldn't find them at all. Tom Savini is the supervisor of special effects. He lasted a day. He didn't like the script, didn't like the film at all. And he just said, well, you can do that. Yeah, this is how you put the blood pipes in and blah, fuck it, I'm going. He had nothing to do with this movie at all, and he despises it, wanted his name taken off it entirely. It is super misogynistic. Again, it's a film where you have the last third puts the gore on, and my God, the gore, it runs in rivers like Driller Killer. It's decapitations and, oh God, axings aplenty, ice picks going through people's hands and in the back. Oh, it is bone-crunchingly horrible and big splattery stuff. But you can tell it's not Savini. They're not his effects. They're not that convincing. But your main guy here who's got mental health issues and goes after his family after being incarcerated, you've got him having like frothing fits in strip clubs, and it ain't good to watch. It's not good to watch. It is not as nasty as people think. It's not. Most of the film plays out as like a kind of slow burn, rather boring drama, and then you get the stuff at the end, and you yeah. Night of the Bloody Apes. What a load of shit. Some real bad scalpings. His son is dying of something or other, so he puts a fucking gorilla's heart into him, which turns him into like a fucking ape-man thing. Regenerative skin. Think Silent Rage, with Chuck Norris, which is a great film, by the way. And he goes out scalping people and putting hypodermics in people's eyes and stuff. It's shit. And the effects are really laughably bad. Basically, you've got someone with a wig on, and he just tears the wig off, and there's a bit of blood underneath. You're meant to go, it's done slow. It's crap. Fucking crap. Night of the Demon. We are not talking Jack Turner. We're not talking Jack Turner's M.R. James take on Casting the Runes, which is one of my favourite supernatural movies ever. I've reviewed it many times. No, we're talking Bigfoot, and Bigfoot is just basically a big guy with big shaggy hair, bit of a beard, and he's wearing Raquel Welch's fairy bikini from 1 Million Years BC. And did I say beastie? I said beastie, didn't I? But he is a big, hairy beastie. And he rips a guy's cock and bollocks off, gorily. He puts a guy's face on a hot plate. He's a Bigfoot. It's bullshit. Again, it's a film. It's not found footage. It's a film crew that go out to try and track down Bigfoot. Or is it a film crew? Or is it a bunch of cameras? Who cares? The film's shit beyond belief. But it is gory. He disembowels a guy and like pulls his intestines out. And in slow motion, he's whipping them around like a flail and hitting people with them. But the break-in at the end where he comes in is genuinely like, oh, we waited all the movie for this. Wow, it does deliver the gore. The gore's not great, but not convincing. But there's lots of it though, so I kind of like that. Possession. Isabella Gianni, Sam Neill, art house horror. Yeah, I think I've reviewed it. I'm sure I have, because they're trying to remake the movie. It's a film which is impossible to remake. I don't know how you could do it. I discussed it quite in depth in a video about the potential remake. The giving birth, the miscarriage is horrendous. The alien, the mutant creature thing, which he has in an apartment. It's East Berlin meets West Berlin meets communists meets espionage meets spies meets Sam Neill, a very young Sam Neill. And Isabella Gianni, who's just, oh my god, her performance is, well, it'll haunt you forever. She's amazing. Does it deserve being on a ban list? Not in the least. Not in the least. It's a fabulous movie. It's not nice to watch, but it's not. There's a couple of murders in it. Not spectacular. There's a tentacled beastie in it, but it's not. It's not really a monster movie. It's about a dysfunctional family. It's about the breakdown of the marital sort of relationship. But VTC put it out, and I'm sure it was cut down to begin with initially. And that course, again, like most of these films, you can get them fully uncut now with lower certificates. Pranks. Pranks is a stalker slash movie set in a high school. I think it's a prom. I don't know, it's after hours of a prom night. Oh, whatever it is. Can't remember. You've seen these things at 10 a penny. Prom night. My Bloody Valentine. My Bloody Valentine, which is gorier than this and infinitely better. And I mean the original My Bloody Valentine. Doesn't appear on anyone's list at all. You know, never got troubled at all. This has a score by Christopher Young. Christopher Young, my God. You know, Nosferatu. The Fly 2, Fly 2 I should say, and Hellraiser and Hellbound, and yeah, you can tell I've been drinking and I'm knackered now. There's so many movies that he's scored, and this is one of his first, and he did this, and it's a very unmemorable score, I'll be honest. He's only young, he's just tinkering about. The reason why this got banned is, like so many movies, the cover of the cassette box. Look at that. There's a spiked baseball bat. Almost done in like Echoplex there. See that? And why? Because Scotland Yard, Mary Whitehouse and the police, the DPP thought anyone could pick up a baseball bat and put nails in it and use it as a weapon. So like a film you're going to see coming up next, or in the next few pages, with a gory weapon which anyone could have and get and use. Can't have that. The film itself might not be that gory or disturbing, but the cover of the fucking box, the video cassette box, was. Pranks is not, it's not bad, it's massively unmemorable. Oh, here we go. It's Ursula Andress and Stacey Keach in Prisoner of the Cannibal God. An absolute turkey of a movie. It's a fucking toiki. It's garbage. Absolute garbage. There's no gore in it. It's a bit of titillation, a bit of misogyny with the tribes, you know, rituals with a naked woman. Happens to be Ursula Andress. And Stacey Keach, there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. But, cannibal, the word cannibal became hugely synonymous with video nasties. So, out, it must go. Out, out, out. Revenge of the Boogeyman, William Lamel's sequel to his bullshit fucking first movie, which spends half its time just showing you footage from the first movie. It's garbage. I don't know why the first one was banned, and I've got no idea what the second one's banned, because it showed footage from the first movie. Shit on a stick. Shogun Assassin. Yeah, Lone Wolf. Baby Cart, River Styx, and Lone Wolf and whatever. You know, Japanese, my God, gory as hell. Comic book, cartoonic, OTT. It's 2 films, folks, 2 films. Shogun Assassin in the UK and elsewhere in territories. The film Shogun Assassin is 2 films edited down to make 1 movie, with tons of just non-stop gore aplenty, limb lopping, ninjas getting you know, I forget the guy's name. Like, let's call him Subutai from Conan the Barbarian. Subutai tries to leave this room, and there's all women around him. He's just like, he's all dressed in like ninja black. He's like, I can fucking do this. He leaps onto the ceiling straight away. And then next thing you know, it's like the Black Knight, none shall pass in a Holy Grail. His fingers come off, his hands come off, his arms come off, his legs come off, and they slice him to bits. And then you got the Lords of Death, not Big Trouble in Little China, and they've got like the big, but they've got the silly big stupid straw hats on. And our lad, our main guy, is taking his child in a wicker work pushchair across the wilderness, fighting everyone left, right, and centre. He runs down and he finds all these bastards who in the sand, and he takes them all out, and they've got these big wicker work fucking heads on. But basically, the gore is in fountains. It got re-released as Shogun Assassin with a new electro score, which is pretty damn good, to be honest. But the thing is, the original cycle of movies are far better. And I got no idea. Well, no, I've got no idea. It's a very clear idea. Samurai swords. Weapons on the front cover of these movies, on the shelves. Blood on breasts. Naked women who are chained up, about to... Cops come in. Just took them. But weapons was a huge thing. The Slayer, stalk and slash one, with a bit of supernatural stuff thrown in as well. Fisherman's scalp ends up in a bucket. There's a pitchfork through someone, back comes through her titties. Yeah, it's all right. Actually, it's a bit damn boring. I remember when I first got that as a kid, I really loved it. I remember really enjoying it, and then when it came out fully uncut on Blu-ray, I couldn't wait to get it, and I watched it. I thought, oh, you're kidding me, it's boring as hell. But anyway, it is. Snuff, the infamous Snuff, like the infamous Snuff movies, which, well, people go, it's all fake news. It doesn't exist. They do exist. I'm afraid they do. People have filmed rapes. People have filmed... What's my hair doing? They film rapes. They film slaughters. They film people being butchered alive. I know they have. Sadly, in my rather colourful life, I've seen these things. I know they... So to say that, snuff movies do not exist, I'm afraid they do, and they always will. People, and especially now, people film everything all the time, so I'm afraid they do exist. They did back then, hence why, this film got made. But this film is not real. It's bullshit and it's boring as hell. There's nothing in it. It's absolute crap. And SS Experiment Camp, a load of shite. Why did it get banned? Well, look at the cover there. A half-nude woman hanging upside down, crucified from a cross, with Nazis looking on. Yeah, Nazis. Concentration camps were not particularly popular on the video medium back in those days. And shit as well. Don't bother. most of these films, don't bother looking for them. If you haven't got them, if you're not my age and you've seen them already, in which case you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you've gone like, oh, they're all shit anyway. And yeah, you'd be right. But people now go like, well, younger people, oh, the NASTIES, well, you're listing them all. I'm going to go and find those. Don't bother. Don't bother. You'd be wasting your time and your money and your efforts because it's just the shit, primarily. But it's an interesting part of movie-loving life that we all have. A very interesting political time in UK history, which went across the world. Australia banned most of these movies as well. Other territories in Europe banned them as well. So it wasn't just the UK, but the UK was the spearhead of this sort of moral, crusade, which is what it was. Tenebrae. Dario Argento is a neo-futuristic. I use the word futuristic there because I've seen it dabbled with this movie many times, and it really isn't futuristic at all. It was just a very heightened modern movie. 81. Tony Franciosa is a writer, American writer in Rome, and the plots of his book, people are being killed in the same manner. So they think he's like, you could be the next target, or maybe he's the murderer and he's got a fucking screw loose. Axe killings, axes to heads, axe dismemberments. It's deliriously gory. Flashback scenes to misogynistic stuff on a beach. Not misogynistic. What's the opposite? What's a female doing it to a bloke? Thermogenistic? I don't know. But this poor bloke gets fucking done out on a beach and high heels in his mouth. You never really work out what it's all about. But the film is great. The score is electrifying. I've done videos on this movie and the score in particular. The camera work is absolutely extraordinary. The Luoma crane that goes up and over a rain-stricken apartment block in Rome, goes over the roofs and comes down the other side to go in through a window and find the two lesbians who are about to be butchered is brilliant. At the time, it was one of the films where you thought like, yeah, I know why this is banned. Because you're thinking just the visuals, it's misogynistic for a lot of the time. But the axe killings of, you're like, oh my Christ, that's really fucking brutal. And the blood spray, just the arm severing and the blood spray across a white wall, nothing beats it. Nothing. I'm afraid, nothing. So Tenebrae Beyond Belief is outstanding. And by the way, I actually still have that, not the VHS, but the Betamax copy. But again, like Nightmares of Damaged Brain, could I find the fucker? No, I couldn't. Terror Eyes, Rachel Ward, the crap actress Rachel Ward. Look at that. That's why it was banned. That picture there, the cover of it, a woman, blood drenched, and a guy with a Gurkha's kukri, coming out in a motorcycle helmet. That's why it's banned, not the film itself. There's nothing in the film. No blood in it whatsoever. I can remember. That's the goriest bit in it. He's beheading people. There's no fucking. You don't see any of that. It's rubbish. Just that cover got it picked off the shelves. The Toolbox Murders. Oh my god. You've had a remake, which thankfully is gory. No one ever talks about the remake. It's not particularly brilliant, but it puts a whole sort of really bizarre, monstrous spin on things. But I like it. That film, with Cameron Mitchell, the great B-movie actor, Western superstar, Cameron Mitchell, is utter shit. A couple of porno stars are in there. He uses a nail gun and a drill. There's no gore. I've had several versions of that when I was a kid. They go, this is the full uncut version, this is the full version, and there's nothing extra. There's nothing in it. It's boring as hell. Unhinged. Oh yes. Yeah, I've got to hurry up. People are starving. No, crap. Actually, it is quite gory, but no, I'm not going to talk about it. Visiting Hours with Michael Ironside, William Shatner, and oh, what's her name?
Food, I'll need to order now. It's a bit late.
I'll have the chicken cashews, please.
And soup.
And soup. There you go. And Lee Grant, who's in Damien Omen 2. Michael Ironside plays this fucking psycho who is talking like a TV newscaster, played by Lee Grant. William Shatner's in there eating ice cream all the time. It's not gory, it's not violent, it was shown on TV, completely uncut, and like then the BBFC went, oh no, you shouldn't have shown that, you know, oh, stop being certificated. So it then got took off shelves, whistled off shelves, and got banned. It wasn't prosecuted. Paul Naschy, Voldemar Daninsky, yes, in one of several, well, many werewolf movies he made as Count Voldemar Daninsky. And The Werewolf and the Yeti is a pile of old shit. Sexy bits, bit of scratching going on. I think there's a decapitation in there somewhere, I can't remember. There's a bit of staking that takes place. But I don't mean the softcore bits, but it's bollocks, folks. The Witch Who Came from the Sea. That's a very early movie, early 70s. Let's see if we can find this. 76. She's too lally, she's murdering people. She's doing all sorts. Like, it is quite nasty, but it's also very dated, very vintage, and very chintzy. And you know, it's just like, if you watched it back in the day, even then you're going like, this is shit. And you watch it now, you're like, well, you wouldn't watch it. You give up after 5 minutes into it. That's the kind of film it is. Women Behind Bars. There's nothing in that. It's just a women in prison bullshit movie. There's nothing in it. It's because of the women in prison and, you know, oh, it's lurid misogyny going to take place and lesbianology taking place. And what's wrong with that? Extra. Not Nigel Davenport. What's his name? Harry Bromley Davenport, is it? I forgot that name right. By the way, Miriam Darbo's in this, who's in The Living Daylights with Timothy Dalton as Bond. Harry Bromley Davenport. Her husband goes off in an alien, look, it's like Close Encounters meets Kramer versus Kramer. Goes off to space, comes back a few years later, and he's an alien fucking hybrid, face shifting, face splitting thing. She gives birth to a full grown man. There's a cocoon in the bathroom. It's a kind of a bit like if you think about Possession with Isabella Gianni and Sam Neill. There's a hint of that going on there, but is it any good? No. An action man comes to life and becomes full grown, and I think he spears an old granny. Oh, I can't remember. Do you know what? I've got it, and I haven't watched it for a long time, and who fucking cares? Zombie Creeping Flesh, which is just another endless copy of Dawn of the Dead. George Romero's zombie cycle. A SWAT team who are fucking ridiculous. A bit of titties in there, like, and pasty face zombie ghouls. There's a fair bit of gore, but it's not great. And then you get Zombie Flesh Eaters, a film I have covered enormously. If you cast your eyes in the gloom over there, it looks like Michael Ironside as Daryl Revick in Scanners is getting gobbled off by the Conquistors or Where Am I zombie. Who says I just throw these things together, you know? These background set pieces. Zombie Flesh is justified. Yes, of course. Theatrically, it was cut in the UK. Then it came out theatrically. They put the theatrical version out on home video. Fine. Then they snuck out this strong uncut version, restoring all the bits that the BBFC had cut out cinematically, and they put it out there. And in the end, both versions got cut. So all the throat ripping and oh god, Loretta the glorious, one of the best bodies I've ever seen in in this or any life, any dimension of her being in. She is outstanding. And then she gets her throat torn out by that conquistador zombie. And it just, her throat just goes on forever. And it's like, and the stringy latex flesh. To this day, it's still outstanding. The splinter in the eye, Olga Carlotos gets a splinter in the eye. A zombie drags her towards a splinter in a door. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why? But anyway, but it makes for one incredibly nasty, gloriously Grand Guignol set piece, which is set in the annals of gore history. I recommend this book. I love this book. You can get it now. But I wanted to say, other films, another video should come up with this. I've got to cut it short because we're about to get chippy tea, Chinese. You heard me saying, I'm having, what am I getting? Chicken sweet corn soup, and I'm getting chicken cashew nuts. Yay, man. The New York Ripper, Lucio Fulci. Everyone thinks the police escorted out of the country. They didn't. It came in, it played theatrically and was reviewed, and then they massively come down on it. Every print's been destroyed in this on the UK soil. No, they did. They just said, no, you're not going to show it. They didn't fucking police escort it anywhere. It just didn't get shown again and didn't go out to home video. I got it, of course. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 was denied a certificate in this country. Massively. I had to go abroad to get that. Anyway, but that's another story. Day of the Dead. Now, Ramirez movies never had a problem. They got censored, don't get me wrong. They were all censored. Well, not all of them, but Dawn of the Dead certainly was. Night, there wasn't. Martin wasn't. Season of the Witch wasn't. Night Riders wasn't. Creepshow wasn't. But Dawn of the Dead was massively censored. We know that. I got pretty much straight away the full uncut, well, the unrated American version. But Day of the Dead had to wait. Now, luckily for me, because of contacts I had, even at that early age, I had a full uncut American copy of the unrated Day of the Dead. A year before it came out, it finally came out in the UK. And when it came out in the UK, it was cut by several seconds, but kind of crucial scenes, shoving it. It was all extended scenes of gore, so shoving the machete down in Miguel's arm, and what else? Oh god, the finger biting was taken out, and there's a few other bits as well. Oh, I can't remember now. But I had the uncut version anyway. Oh, and you've got the other films which people expect to see in lists like this. The Exorcist, never banned. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one, never banned. Clockwork Orange, never banned. Clockwork Orange, what's his name? Stanley Kubrick retaliated very aggressively when his film was linked to murders or beatings that were taking place with people copying Alex at his droogs, committing the old Uber violence with baseball bats on down and outs in streets of London and other sort of hamlets. And he went, no, are you blaming my film for this? Well, Ben, you can't show my film. Fuck you. Basically, he said that. So the film was taken out of distribution. He chose to do that. Texas Chainsaw played in many cinemas. London Film Festival, brought the house down. Great. It played in other provincial cinemas, even around Manchester and Liverpool and in Scotland. It played. It was never banned, but local distributors and cinema chains went, because of its notoriety and it was causing controversy, they chose not to show it. So distributors pulled the movie. It wasn't banned. It wasn't banned at all. The Exorcist was never banned. I think that's here somewhere. It's here somewhere, yeah. There you go. Never banned. But people think it was. It was never banned at all. Other films that I was present in video libraries when they were taken off their shelves because of their lurid covers or just because of overzealous coppers who just thought, blood, it's a horror film. Big titty on my head. The Thing. Gory as hell, yeah. A video nasty. methinks no. In Seminoid, Judy Geeson's legs are spread, on the cover. You can see where they took that. Scanners, well, there's the poster over there, and they turn the back of it over. I've got the original. Is it here? Did you bring it down? Oh, I didn't bring it down, did I? But you've seen it before. I've got the original Betamax copy. Where's my head? I'm trying to pull this weird bit of free. What? It's like a fish hook. What's happening there? Oh, let's just leave it. Just leave it, shall we? But scanners got lifted as well. If you turn the back around, it was a head explosion. So, Rabid, which is there. Shivers and the Brood got taken down as well. I was there. Maniac, Joe Spinell, Caroline Munro. That never, cut to hell in the UK, never appeared on the DPP list. Maniac, it's phenomenally nasty. So it shows the abstract random nature of censorship. Turkey Shoot, which is there, aka Blood Camp Thatcher. Aussie movie with Steve Railsback and Roger Ward. And Olivia, what's her name? Olivia Hussey. She's died in the last couple of years as well. It's very nasty. That version there on old Betamax is cut. I have the full uncut version, obviously, but even that was nasty. The full uncut version was, when you finally got it, you're like, oh my god, there's a lot more to it. Basket Case, which is there, Frank Helen Lotter. That Palace Pictures again, because Evil Dead was Palace Pictures. So anything with that, bam, that's off the shelf straight away. The Hills of Eyes, which never made anyone's name. It never had any censorship problems, never was pilloried at all. Except when I first saw that movie, and I saw that when it first came out. Well, you know my sordid history of seeing film, very, very underage. And a friend of ours, who was a lot older than me, she stood up in the middle of the packed cinema, the Phoenix Cinema in Wallasey Village, where I basically lived, and we were watching it. And it got to the scene where the cannibals get into the camper van, and they're going for the baby. And, well, I'm not going to name it, but she stood up and she went, "You are all sick. If you're watching this, you're all sick bastards. You're all sick." And everyone was like, and we were with her. And we were like, and she stormed out. Well, mate, I love the film The Hills of Eyes. I love the remake as well, and even the sequel to it. They're actually great. They do their job very well. But Craven's original Hills of Eyes, it has a special place in my heart, and I love it to bits. But that sequence, you go like, oh my god, it always has a profound effect on me when I watch the movie again. I remember her standing up and doing that. Okay, right, I'm wrapping up right now. The Black Panther are based on the what's his name, Nilsson, the kidnapper and murderer, post office murderer. That film was because the police didn't let, because that was still massively current, still being looked at and investigated. So they took that film off the shelves. The Last Horror Film, again, Joe Spinell and Caroline Munro, like Maniac. I love that movie. Depeche Mode have the title song in it, not the title song, but the main opening song, Photographic. Love that movie to bits. It's gory as fuck. It's ridiculous, hokey, stupid, but I love it. That got took off because you had on the original UK, it's called Fanatic anywhere else, but Last Horror Film, and you had Caroline Munro in a shower, like screaming, with lovely blonde streaks in her hair, looking fantastic. And you can't see Joe Spinell, but there's a broken bottle in her face like that. So the police, "What having that? That's fucking nasty. You can't be having that." And they got things like Salo and Caligula, Fellini's Caligula, which were taken off because they were always controversial movies, obviously, but they were never banned. These things were not actually banned, not at that time anyway. The BBFC still works. They are headed up by, unbelievably, and I had a video months and months ago about this, and I just didn't do it. The presidents of the BBFC, they are no longer called, they haven't been called the British Board of Film Censorship for a long, long time. The British Board of Film Classification, that's what they are. Their president is none other than the eminently, unbelievably gorgeous Natasha Kaplinsky, former newsreader for BBC and a winner of Strictly Come Dancing. And she heads it up. I have got a video about this because the BBFC still cut films and still do not allow film certificates. So it still happens to this day. But anyway, folks, I'm sure there's some other little notarage. James Anderton, rot in hell, motherfucker. Mary Whitehouse, oh, just baked cakes. Just stupid, silly old woman. But a lot of Tory MPs and a few Labour ones as well got involved in all this, and the backlash and the furore. Great word, that, furore, about the video nasties. But yeah, I'm hungry and the tea's about to arrive. You can stick around for it if you want, but I'll just be over there munching. The Ghoulish, what are they called? Ghoulish Publications, Ghoulish Publishing have redone the book From the Dark Side, a definitive guide to the video nasties. Now, as I say, all of these went before the DPP, Scotland Yard, and a lot did not get prosecuted, but they didn't come out till many years afterwards. Some still have not come out because no one's put them forward again. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. But they're ultra low budget bullshit movies, and no one's asked about them. So there's going to be no profit in doing it, regardless. But car boot sales and and just going around like attic sales, you may find some of these old movies. And as a collector, I can't say don't do it, don't buy them. But even on VHS and VHS, whether you've got the means to watch them or not, they're still a piece of history. If you're into movies, they're a piece of history. UK history, movie-wise, movie medium-wise, it's vastly important and hugely relevant the way the world's going at the moment, especially this country with freedom of speech, sort of clamping down on. I put these movies here. Superstition, aka The Witch, that got took off the shelves. I was there when that got took off the shelves. Communion, aka oh god, what's it called? Sweet Alice. Sweet Dreams Alice. I forgot what it's fucking called. Alfred Souls movie. It's a great film as well. I love that. I've been meaning to review that for a long time. Sweet Dreams Alice. Sweet. Oh fuck! I forgot what it's called. Exorcist. Turkey shoot. I think the food's arrived. Folks, this has been a trip down nasty lane, and we all know it, we all love it. Even like some American Werewolf got took off the shelves. Anything that looked horror and nasty and like, oh, you can't have that. We can't let you watch that. We're going to watch that ourselves. Bullshittery. People telling you what you can and can't see, but they'll watch it themselves to tell you. But we're okay because we won't go out and commit these murders. We won't be, but we think you will. Can you see the stupidity of this? The completely crass inferiority that these people think they've got. A filmmaker makes a movie, special effects, and someone then says, well, no, you killed people. You killed people for that. And arrested filmmakers and put them on trial until the actual actors came back out. I'm thinking of Cannibal Holocaust here. Came out and said, like, no, see, that's me. And I'm here. I'm alive. Hey, I'm alive. Fucking bollocks, isn't it? It's just, why have we as a society allowed people to stand in charge of us? They're meant to be looking after us and what we want. We, the general population, the majority of people want. But they don't do that. No, they don't. No, they don't. They act the other way. No, we're in charge of you. We're going to make you jump through our hoops. and we're going to look after this minority, and we're going to look after this minority, but the majority of you can go and fuck yourselves, and if you say anything about it, we're going to arrest you. And that's what you've got today. Back in that day, it was just movies. Oh, there's other things as well, but movies primarily. And it gave you, as a gorehound, something to aim for. I want to collect all those. And they're brilliant. They told you what to go and look for. And then you got them and you're like, really? Really? And it kind of gave a lot of, like, you know, I don't know, at my age, what, 12, 13, 14, 11, 12, 13, 14, that sort of age gap. Because the whole thing, the obscenity law was 77. I think the Nasty Purge began in 83. The Video Recordings Act, when they had to be submitted to the BBFC for video certification, which is what this whole thing was about. They weren't certified. That's all it was. They're just putting the filmers out there. So it was just a free market. Brilliant! Wow, it's amazing. But throughout that time, it gave people of my age and similar a snapshot into what governments could be like, the Orwellian sort of future. George Orwell now would be like, I never foresaw what's happening to you guys now. What I wrote was just like, oh, it was to the nth degree of what he could imagine. Big Brother. It's infinitely worse than what he actually ever thought. So there's an innocence to this. The innocence of the video nasties. I recommend this. I don't know how much it is, by the way, because as I say, Astradyne sent me this. I do wish it was updated with other factoids about the status of these movies as they are now, what versions are available, and I think they really should do that. But, you know, and there's a few, you know, words missed out, and there's a few elements of where the cast for the movie and the sort of the credit details is completely wrong. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just a great little coffee table tome from, you know, an epoch of a lot of our lives, which means a lot and kind of paved the way for the way we are. I don't mean mass murderers and cannibals and zombies. I don't mean that, but I mean that we love movies with, you know, a bit of guts and a bit of eye gouging and just, you know, it's wholesome fun. Right, folks, Chippy T. I'm really delaying people. There's going to be a zombie flesh eater style gore fest in a minute, and they'll be eating the food. They'll be eating me. Eyeballs coming out and like, oh god. Right, folks, I have been on my show with Kilt-Man, so please, in the meantime, it's ever like nice but nasty in between time. Please keep it Kiltic, keep it Celtic. Tell your friends about the channel. Tell your friends you're into your movies. Your friends are into the movies. Tell them about the channel. Tell them. Get them involved. And all you stick together. The Celtic clan. We are a massive, big family. I've seen over the years, but massively recently, how people have looked out for each other all around the world. They've got together. They've become friends on Facebook and other social media. And I think it's a wonderful thing. You know, the world isn't doing us any great big favours. So if you can get some fun out of the channel and out of each other, band together, strength, unity is strength. That'll get clamped down. Like, you can't allow that. No, you can't. No. Anyway, I'm out of here, folks. The food has arrived. So I'm going to see you all at a blood feast near you. What's that all did again? Chicken cashew nuts. Yeah, man.